Okay. Hey, my name's Dan Ferguson. I'm one of the partners at Groove Jones, and I'm going to be walking through a variety of emerging technologies, real case studies, and real uses with real brands here. Get this started. Uh, Again, my name's Dan. The company is Groove Jones, and we're considered one of the industry leaders out there who specialize in emerging technologies. What does that mean? A lot of that is AI, AR, MR, virtual reality, WebGL. It just keeps growing. Uh, we develop immersive experiences for a lot of the world's most recognized brands, which we're really fortunate about. We've won, over 180, maybe 200 international awards by now, and multiple patents, some for ourselves and also for our clients. We often say you can't Google what we're working on because, we are doing stuff that is it may have just happened a week ago, or it may have just happened a day ago. We are early adapters, so we jump into it. If you look at what's going on out there in the marketing and engagement space, really, where it began and where we're going now. Since 2015, we've been striving to looking at what's happening next. So if you go from traditional means or digital means, even experiential, we don't, we could do that, but we don't focus on that. We really focus on emerging technologies, all the stuff that's happening. And we like it because it's hard, it's special, and not a lot of people do it. Not a lot of people do it very well, actually. And we also like it because it keeps growing. It's going to keep going, and it's happening at an extremely fast pace. So new things are popping up that we're able to adapt, take into our studio, experiment with, and then show our clients, hey, we should be considering this for a campaign coming up. Overall, why we like emerging technologies is because when they are strategic and they're creative, they work. They work great. They increase sales. So we've had numerous clients where by implementing emerging technologies into a strategic and creative campaign, they see increased sales from a traditional campaign or even from sales the year before. It drives engagement. So we always see engagement increase. It increases dwell time. It increases time spent with the brand. And when you do that, this increases the understanding. And when you increase understanding, it also increases intent to buy. They feel more comfortable with it. They're excited about it. They've just had a really good experience. And then it creates buzz and awareness. So there's great PR opportunities around it. But the other thing, it turns consumers into brand evangelists. They like to share what they've experienced. That's something special, something unique, something different. So our origin story really begins, maybe a decade ago, where, it was desktop publishing, it was the internet boom, it was web, it was mobile devices, really kind of when digital was coming of age. That's where I grew up, and that's where my business partners grew up. So I was building mobile apps, and I was building desktop apps, and I was building websites. I helped build the American Airlines app and the CarMax app, and all the digital touch points that you'd be at the airport, all the way to developing games. I've literally built hundreds of games. So spent a lot of time building games and mobile apps on traditional or new digital devices. My business partners were involved in creating movies, animations, theme park rides, the Simpsons ride or the Minion ride, really kind of crazy stuff. And, when we joined forces, when we decided to work on this, this was right about when Palmer Luckey launched his DK1, the original Oculus Kickstarter campaign. So that's really taking technology and taking creative and really adapting it to these new pieces of hardware and also new technologies. That's really where we've been spending the last 10 years. So we do a lot of virtual reality and a lot of augmented reality, a lot of WebGL, and now advanced computing, AI, machine learning, all of this is, it's part of the metaverse, but it's also been going on for quite a long time. So it's been growing. Adoption is increasing. More and more people are doing it. Sometimes they don't even know that they're doing it. They just think it just naturally is happening because it's become so frictionless. And one last slide about us. So we're based out of Dallas, Texas. We've got about 60 people in our studio. We do predominantly most of our work out of the U.S., but whenever we do it, we're 100% all in. So we're digital natives. So let's start talking about some of these campaigns. So we've done this. We're doing this. We've been doing it. And I'm going to walk through a couple different categories here. So first, I'm going to talk about out of home. And out of home, even if you look at traditional out of home, it's been around for a long time. And it's exciting because there are new things that are happening. Holograms, forced perspective, 3D anamorphic billboards. It's pretty darn crazy, even AR out of home. So the first one I'm going to talk about is really a crazy seismic shift that's been happening in these 3D billboards that have been going on. To me, it's emerging technology. It's really an emerging tactic using some traditional means, but we're also using a lot of emerging technologies to build it. So everybody's familiar with forced perspective. The chalk drawings that you would see at a carnival or at a fair, where you stand at a certain position and it looks like it has depth. It's an optical illusion, and that's what we're doing on billboards now. So this is a really cool program. This is with Spirit Halloween. If you're here in the U.S., you're very familiar with them. These are the pop-up stores that happen every Halloween. We created the Spirit Halloween Times Square billboard. It's not a 3D billboard. It is a multi-sided billboard. So this is a traditional out-of-home digital billboard. This is actually in Times Square, and it wraps. It's got a forward facing portion of it, and then it's got that side bending portion to it. And, by creating a forced perspective experience, we can make that look like it has depth, and we can make it look like things come out without extra hardware, with the naked eye. So I'm going to play a quick video. This is the experience that if you were in Times Square, just honestly, a week or two ago, you would have seen this. So that's super cool. And it's just a billboard, but it feels like it's reaching out to you. It's only a 15-second spot, and then it rotates to the next spot. But why would anybody do this? Well, it's super eye-catching. People look up and they want to film it. So it's really engaging. When we do things like this, we actually recreate it in CGI. So we build the area, we build the location, because realistically, you need to be able to see it while you're building it to make sure that it's going to work from the point of view where you want that 3D effect to happen. So we build it in a game engine. We actually build the environment so that we can then see it as we're developing it. And so as we're designing the billboard, you'll see how it's working here. Does he look like he's reaching out to you, Jack Reaper? And then we use VR to test it and learn and understand how effective it is. How is this going to work? Do we need to push certain areas of it? And that's really how the production is. So we're using emerging technologies to enhance and enhance something that was used to be done traditionally. So here you see, now that it's been posted, the people who are on site, they got to see it. But really, the benefit that they're getting out of this is that these are really attention grabbing. And people see billboards all the time, But when they see something that's unique and different and using forced perspective, it's really hard to ignore. And so people record this and share. So, we'll get dozens or hundreds of people videoing this on location, and then they share it. And that's really kind of where they're amplifying it and getting that halo effect of generating buzz, because people weren't on site, but everybody around the world got to see that billboard because they were so unique and special, and people wanted to share. So they get a great benefit for that. So I'm going to go to another one. So this is using out of home, but it's super traditional. So this is truly a 2D billboard. This is an oversized billboard that we enhance through AR. And so this is using augmented reality. It's using image detection, and we're adding a game to it. So we're adding gamification to it. So a lot of stuff going on here, but it's remarkable how crazy it works. So these are billboards. It doesn't matter if it's on a building like this or on a building like that. Could be 10 or 20 stories high. My phone can register it and activate off of it, and I can turn it into a game. So this was a billboard campaign that we did with the Dallas Mavericks NBA team, where Kristoff is on the billboard. When you activate it, he comes to life. And then you are going to shoot basketballs to try to score on him. And of course, he's incredible. He's going to block your hits, and you're trying to score on him. And we're raising money for a food bank here in Dallas. So I'm going to play this really quick. So this is a gamified web AR out-of-home experience. So you'll see how the camera immediately grabbed that billboard and brought it to life.
Good luck.
It's got audio to it, so he tosses the ball to you across the street. So I'm across the street.
I'm just warming
and I'm
up.
flicking the ball up to try to score.
Nope. No way.
So I had 3 tries to score on him. So at the end of it, that's where the client has their call to action. And so he was raising money, and the team was raising money. So every blocked shot was raising money for a food bank. I'll show you this one too. This shows the same gameplay, different billboard, but now it's 10, 15 stories up in the air.
I'm Kristoff Porzingis, and you have 3 shots to hit 1 past me. Good luck.
So we had to change the angle. So there's a little bit of a forced perspective. So he's looking down at me versus looking across the street.
No way.
So,
I can do this.
Pretty cool stuff. Now we're going to kind of take it up a notch. So working with HEB, which is a grocery store chain here in Texas, they wanted to do a campaign using outdoor billboards. So it's an out-of-home campaign. They had a series of documentaries that are all dealing with sustainability and wildlife within Texas. And so they created a series of documentaries that tell their story. And then part of that is for part of the promotion, they wanted to create an AR experience using out of home. Well, this billboard, you'll notice it's on a street corner. So it's got a bend to it. So I could use image detection, but honestly, I needed something better. So here's where we're using Niantic's LightShip VPS, which is really, it's the GPS system and the app system, or the mapping system that Pokemon Go uses, and it's tied with 8th Wall's SDK. And so this allows me to do a really, centimeter level accuracy GPS enabled AR experience. So the idea around this is people can scan that QR code, and even though it's at an angle, the AR knows that wall. It understands that wall. And because of the GPS location, and also because of the VPS system, it understands that 3D fold. And so when I go there and activate it, I could bring this mural, which was also available in a flat version, and you could activate it really anywhere to bring it to life. And so it's super cool. I'm going to walk through kind of a static version of it, but then I'm going to show you a video of it. So I can walk to the wall, I scan the wall, I align it with the wall, and then things pop off of it. Like there's a redfin or a fish that falls off of it, and then the bear cub jumps out of the mural and lands on the ground and plays with the fish. And then the mama bear roars, and then the baby cub jumps back in the water after knocking the fish back into the river. And so it's a fun, playful animation. It's like a 15-20 second animation that people watch multiple times. So again, I'm talking about time spent, dwell time with this. Normally, I'd see this billboard, I'd look at it, and I'd walk away. But when I activate it and I start watching an animation, I'm going to have an extended dwell time. I'm going to play this video real quick. So it looks like the wildlife is on the ground off the wall. Pretty awesome. So this is all doable now. 5 years ago, you couldn't do that. And so because these are all new emerging technologies that are happening, it's allowing us to have new capabilities and really take something that's old and really modernize it and really kind of making it a next gen experience. So let's talk about like things that are 100% digital. So this is really, 100% online, whether it's desktop or mobile, and people are engaging with it with these experiences. So this is with Keebler. This is part of the Open for Magic campaign. So if you eat any of the Keebler cookies, you'll know Ernie. And so the whole idea around this was to turn people into a Keebler elf. And people have done AR filters, social filters, where you're adding a CGI element to you, but we wanted to turn your whole person into a Keebler elf. And so it really couldn't be done with AR. So we used AI, and that's where we're taking you and then we're transforming you, not only you, but your clothes and your hair and your ears and your wardrobe, your hat, even your background into the Keebler elf. And then you'll see how, this is where we started, where we were training the model using AA, training the model to turn you into an elf. And then, our engine, what we built out was a platform where it's so fine-tuned. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. It really got to a point to where we could take anyone. Didn't matter how old you were, didn't matter what race or sex where you were, it didn't matter. We fine-tuned it so much that it turned you into beautiful versions of a Keebler elf. Then, part of this also was creating unique and different tree houses. So that tree, the Keebler elf tree, how do you turn that? How do we create original artwork out of that? So we trained it using print ads and TV ads that they have created over time, but to create a unique background. So if you were outside, it would have an outside version. If you were inside, you'd be inside of the tree. This was all done through a mobile device. So if you go to the website, like the desktop website, you could scan that QR code with your phone and it would launch through a mobile device, because we need your photo. So this is all web-based. There's no app. You scan it, you activate it, you upload your photos, it then processes you, and then it turns you into a Keebler elf. And you could select from a couple different ones you can download and share. So I'm going to show you a quick video around that. is all happening in real time, by the way. So you're seeing how it progresses through it. It's not a filter. This is creating a unique pose of you. It keeps things that are you, but it turns you into an element. Super fun. So why did the brand do something like this? Well, they want you to connect with this iconic character. So something you've grown up with, something that's traditional, and we're modernizing it. And we're using devices that everybody has. And then we're also giving you tools to share. And so this amplifies that. This allows people to, either post with their friends or to share with anybody. And it helps amplify this whole campaign of Open for Magic and allowing people to experience that. I'm going to shift now to WebGL. WebGL is it's 3D on the web, so it allows us to create high-end 3D experiences without an app, special plugin, or anything like that. You could not do this 2 or 3 years ago. It really became great about a year or two ago, where all the browsers are working fantastic, and we can create deep immersive experiences. So when Toyota did this, so we launched this with the Toyota Crown. It was a new vehicle to the US in 2023, so this year. And the purpose of this whole site was to create a virtual showroom, because they didn't have enough vehicles to put at every dealership in the US. It was a new vehicle. And people wanted to see it. They wanted to explore it. They wanted to see what the color options were. They wanted to get inside of it. And so by using WebGL, we're able to take something which you would traditionally have to go to a site, or maybe see a pano, or maybe see photos or images on a website. But now I can go to a website and really drop into it and be immersed in it. So it's a beautiful site. Fully 3D, allows me to see different vehicles, different models. It's allowed me to customize it. It allows me to go inside of the vehicle, different hotspots that I can activate it. I can even see an X-ray version of it. So I want to understand how the powertrain works. So it's educating me of why this is a different vehicle. I'm going to play a quick video here so you can get a good view of what it looks like. So this allows people to see something, play with it, visualize it when it's not there. So I physically cannot see it, but I can go to a web page and start exploring it. So I get very comfortable with it. It increases my my ability to learn more about the vehicle, and what that does too is it makes me feel more informed about a potential purchase decision. And then really this whole site actually drove people to the Toyota site in order to purchase it. And we drew phenomenal purchase reports from this that were driven directly from this website. So that's something that shows people engaged with it, they spent a lot of time with it, and they bought through it. Another example of using WebGL. So this is WebGL and AR. So again, IBM has these Think conferences. They have a lot of large hardware, a lot of products that are expensive to ship and to display. And when people go to a conference, that's great. They can see it there. But when a lot of people are streaming a conference, they can't really experience what others are seeing. So again, using WebGL to allow people to step into a space, whether you're on a desktop or a web browser, a desktop or a mobile device, engage with it, learn more about it. Again, you couldn't do this without WebGL. It's fantastic and allows you to go through this experience. And then because this particular project, the IBM Z, you can have multiple versions of this. So I can have one server, or I could have multiple racks, cases around it. I can then stack them. So in AR, I can use AR to then view how does this look like in my server room. And so I can see this, like it's millimeter accurate. How do I see this in my physical space? So again, using emerging technologies to visualize and engage. Play this real quick. So this was both WebGL and AR. If I was on a desktop, it was primarily WebGL, and the AR version would pop up to where a QR code would pop up, and then I can activate it with my phone, and then I could drop that into my real world. Fully interactive. There's sound and audio. It's always great to play. I'm going to move to the next phase. Let's talk about experiential. So again, before I was talking about more 100% digital, and then experiential is a great way that brands are using it to teach people about their products and connect with their customers. We do quite a bit of experiential, and basically, whether it's a trade show or it's a mobile tour, or it's at a fan event or a sporting event, we're bringing emerging technology out in the field. So this is an exciting program. We're working with a company called Be Pro, Be Proud, and this is part of the mobile tour, and we're using virtual reality. And the whole purpose of Be Pro, Be Proud is it's a program to it's really addressing the workforce gap by teaching students about skill-based careers. So instead of going to college, learning a skill-based a skill for your career, and then connecting them with employers that are in their local area. So what do I mean by that is, you don't have to you don't have to go to college to become an electrician or to become a plumber. A lot of these are trade skills that you have to learn. And this is a different opportunity. This is a different way to approach a career for a young adult. And a lot of them don't understand those options. And part of this program is to educate students about what opportunities are in their state, but then really what are those opportunities and what do they pay? That's really important. So this campaign it's a mobile tour. So it's a truck, and it started in Arkansas, and then it moved to various other states. So it's growing in multiple states in the U.S. But it's a tour that goes to high schools and events. Kids come on board and they learn about these careers in VR. And I'm going to play this real quick to just show a couple. One might be a plumbing demo. And so this is a VR experience where I put a headset on, and these all kind of take place from a school point of view, from a high school point of view. Here I am at the stadium, like a football stadium, and then here's these different careers that I'm launching from the stadium. So for plumbing, we walk you through it, and it's gamified too. So I'm in the plumbing one. I'm here that I've got to do this repair job. It's timed, so the faster I do and the more correct I do, the better my score. So we bring people through there. So here I'm drilling the wall. I'm sawing the wall. I've got to replace the pipe that's behind the wall that's leaking. It shows where I have to cut. So they're fun and exciting. There are some red herrings that could be like an electrical wire. You don't want to cut that. So there's penalties from that. If you don't fix the leak, it starts overflowing. And then at the end of it, when you are scored, it shows you your total time, your point count, and then it ranks you. Hey, you ranked as an apprentice or a journeyman or a foreman, and then it shows you what you would have gotten paid per hour. And all of these rates are for that specific state. So if this was in Arkansas, this might be the hourly rate that you would earn if you were there. It would be different than it would be in South Carolina or New Mexico or in Georgia. Carpentry Calamity is another one of the games. So I think we've done 6 of the games so far. And here it prompts you with the challenge. You've got to replace the damaged wall. Hey, you've got to exterminate pests that are in there. So you got to put on safety gear. You've got to remove the wall lockers, which reveals where the termites have been eating the wall. So I've got to put equipment on. I've got to kill the termites. I've got to then remove the damaged studs, which, I've got to measure, I've got to cut, I've got to drill, I've got to saw, and then I've got to install the new lockers. And look how awesome the locker room looks. And then at the end, I've received my score. And hey, wow, I was scored. My score was great. I got 3 stars. I leveled up to a journeyman. So it really is engaging. It really gets kids excited about a career, gives them a taste of what it could be like. Again, this is all aspirational. We want them to be excited around it. Here's a quick video to showcase the story. I love this. Great program. So using VR to it's really for marketing, but it's part to educate students about these careers and get them to experience it. And you really couldn't do that in any kind of traditional way. And the fact that we could put these VR experiences inside of a mobile rig like this, it's now in multiple states in the U.S. So it started in Arkansas, Georgia. Now it's in Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina. They just announced that they're in New Mexico. So every state is branded to that state's colors. So they all get their own rig. Every state has their own rig. All of the games, all the experiences, all the VR experiences are rebranded for that state's purpose. All of the jobs that are in there are updated for those pay scales based on that state's individual pay scale rates. And then if that state wants to highlight a particular industry or skill that may be radically different, New Mexico may want to hire students for X type of job versus Georgia. We will then create a new VR experience just for that state. So it's very unique. And because it's geared towards those individual states, the students feel connected to it. So awesome program. We've been working with them for 2 years and everybody loves it. So this is another great experiential thing, and this is a weird one. Like you never would have thought, like bringing a volumetric capture system to a trade show, but volumetric is definitely emerging technology. It's emerging hardware. It's emerging software. This is actually a scanner that we built. So this is one of our scanners. It's about a 10-foot by 10-foot scanner. There are 50 cameras in it, right? So 50 cameras in it, and people walk inside of it. And so we use it in an event to capture you, to make a digital double of you, really in 1 second. We have scanned thousands and thousands and thousands of people. We can scan about 1,000 people a day running through this, getting, again, millimeter accurate digital double of you. It used to be you'd have to go to a volumetric stage, a volumetric camera system like in LA or New York. You know, there are volumetric cameras around the country, but ours is unique because it's portable. And then the crazy thing about what we built was, now that I got your 3D data, we rig and animate you through our production pipeline. So this is all done on site. They're actually now in the cloud, but people step inside. We scan you. Takes 1 second to scan you. Now that I have your 3D data, what am I going to do with you? Well, I'm going to put you into a game. So here's what happens at an event. So this is this is super metaversy. I'm capturing your 3D data. I'm going to animate you, rig you, animate you, put you into a game, and then I'm going to send you a link that you can play on your phone, all within minutes.
Right this way, just put on the footprint.
So Bobby just got scanned. He got a link to play the game. That's him. That's him in 3D. He's animated. And for this experience, it was a simple Twitch game. So it's like an endless runner mechanic where I'm trying to run him down the football field, scoring points and avoiding the pylons, which slow me down. I'm trying to get the best time. And then at the end of it, we get a social share video. The video is of what you just did. So it's a cinematic video that's been automatically generated that you can then post and share. Because we know people like to share. And so, you know, that's highlighting. So AT&T is highlighting it at sporting events because they're sponsoring the sporting events, but they're also wanting to highlight 5G connectivity. But it's super cool. So again, this is like dropping you like within literally minutes into a metaverse, a 3D immersive game, right? Where I'm able to control myself. And I can play on any kind of web browser, mobile device, desktop device, it doesn't matter. So that's cool. Let's enhance that. Now let's make it multiplayer. So at these events, because we know people love to compete, at this event, you know, you and a friend just got scanned, or you and somebody else just got scanned. You'd walk up to a kiosk, you would scan in the QR code that unlocks your character, and then you're able to play on a bigger screen that was set up there. And it is truly you against the person next to you. So this one was, you know, an endless runner mechanic. And you'll kind of see, if you look over here on this left screen, you'll see the guy in the dark blue hoodie and the other guy in the red jersey. They see themselves on the screen. And this is something we always see. People take out their phones and they take a picture of themselves in this kind of, you know, 3D immersive space. So that's always one of the social shareable things. But in this, at the end of the game, you also get a custom 3D video of who you just played. So these two people just played over here. Bobby and Essen just played. I'm going to share their video. This is the social share video that they played, or that shows the results of their game. So it shows them starting the game. They're running down the track. Bobby starts getting ahead of him. Essen's a little bit behind. They're running to the finish line. And Bobby won that game. You'll see that he crossed the finish line before Essen did. So, and that's generated in real time and then output, post-processed and output to you right after your game. It's super cool. So I'm going to plus it up now. So that was an endless runner mechanic. Now, like how can we push this? And so again, this shows this was at the All-Star game where people, so basketball, people are getting scanned. You actually see this husband and wife. They got scanned. We're going to put them into a custom basketball game where they're going to do their own custom dunks for points. So that's actually me. So I got scanned. I'm on the field, and this is me playing on my phone. And by making quick selections, I'm firing off. So I'm trying to get style points based on my dunk. I do not have skills like this, but I was able to do some really cool moves. At the end of it, you'll end up seeing here I'm doing the windmill, and then bam, I get, let's see what I scored on that. Okay, 44 points on that. So that was my best score. At the end of it, again, I get that social share video. Crazy. I cannot do that in real life. So that's what I share. So why? So why do people do that? So like, why does a brand develop these things? Again, for this, they were trying to create high engagement. So it was a digital experience. It was a takeaway. That was only a 25, 30-second game. And people would play that game 5, 10, 20 times and then post their score. So that's a lot of time to be spending with a brand. When you're at an event, there's 100 other things to do. And people are playing on their phone, playing on games, taking it home and playing at home. So again, that's why you do use emerging technologies that are creative and they're strategic for that audience. So a pause on that, went a minute or so over, but I think we're good.